Hello YouTube. In this slideshow, I show how I start rebuilding the undercarriage for my bulldozer. I start by removing the chains and sprockets. Luckily, both sprockets, they were in good shape. One of them was welded to the final drive, the other just bolted in. One chain came out very easy. The master pin came off real easy with screwdriver. All the shoe bolts, they were loose. I did cut them with the torch. The shoe were loose, but the bolt was seized. The nut was seized on the bolt. As you see, once the bracket was welded on the final drive. All the old roller, they were rolling and they didn't have a lot of play. They've been rebuilt before, but I ended up replacing all of them. I also rebuilt the forks, the one they hold the idler in place. I took them apart and cleaned them real good and sanded them and wire brush them. And I had to manufacture 2 new rods for them. And I also bought a rebuild kit for them. This shows how I built guard for the grease fitting. The grease fitting on those will adjust the tension on the chain. And I thought they need guard. I believe it had it before, but they've been removed from the bulldozer when I bought it. This is the rods I used to manufacture the 2 new piston rods for the forks. They came out nice and tight. This show the painted forks with the new kit that I bought for them. I did reuse the old pistons and old grease fitting. Over here to show how I fixed one of the rod guard for the channel. I just used 1/4 inch rods, bent them to shape and welded them. This show how I welded them on the other side. I use 70-18 for most of the weld for the undercarriage. Over here to show the big pin that's hold the undercarriage on the dozer. As you see, it wore out badly. Even the part where the gib hold it in place. So I just ground it down and welded it with 70-18. Then I ground it to size. I did that on both sides. This over here is show how I rebuild the guides for the idler. I thought to cut them off and weld a new blade, but then I thought if I weld them with 70-18 and use hard facing electrode, it will give me better result than replace them with the other blade or other gibs. So I grounded them off and I welded 1/4 inch rod to serve as a guide for my weld so I could get straight weld. And then I build it with 70-18. and then ground it down. I made sure this about less than 1/16 than the final size that I'm looking for. And then I fill the rest with the hard facing electrode. I use this one. This is a great material. It doesn't ground easy, and it actually doesn't rust. It's been for several years now and still in good shape. And then I grounded the 1/4 inch rod to the right dimension for the idler to fit perfectly in it. And I replaced the top guide. I use 5/8 thick AR400 abrasive resistance blade, which has an excellent welding and wear resistance property. And then I cut 4 pieces to the right size that I'm looking for. And then I fitted the idler and made sure it's lined up perfectly with the other rollers or with the channel, so the chain will not wear out prematurely. I welded them all the way, and while they were still hot, I went ahead and welded the sides with the hard facing electrodes, because the old one they wore out from this side. So, and that will add additional strength to the face of them. The hard facing electrode will give you better abrasive resistance than just the AR400 blade itself. Over here it just shows I'm doing the same thing to the other side. One of the channels had a groove from a bad roller. I decided to go ahead, clean it, and build it with weld. Once again, I'm using 7018 over here. I put a coat of primer on the finished channels so they don't rust until I get the other stuff done. And in the next video, I will show how I remove the shoe from the old chain, and I will show how I start rebuilding the undercarriage. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching.